Get ready for the tip off. We'll take that W and hand you a loss. Break your ankles on the cross. On God, I'm that raw. Off the bounce, leave you on the first step. It might be a long night for you without some double team help. Or the whistle from the ref. I'm from the school of hard knocks. Watch how I hit them with a shimmy when I get them on the block. We talking nothing but hoops. A floor general and it's true. Spot up in the corner, man, you know I'm gon' shoot. Or slam like an alpha. I'm beastin' like a boss named Hefe. Trapping on the baseline, you escape no way. A baller like Kobe wearing 24. And y'all be sure to subscribe to the channel. Ay, with Mr. Slam and Alpha Dog 2. And Pure Wage with the best sports book too. If you wanna show support, give us a view. Call this an NBA jam. If you a super fan, hit the bell is what you do. We off the bounce. Check up. Level off the bounce. Let's get it.
He's on fire.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Off the Bounce. I'm FA Picks. I'm joined by my two brothers, Alpha Dog and BBB Big Brain Bets. How we doing today, boys?
We have a 5-game slate. Excited to dive into it. Not too big, not too small. Great size. How we doing today, BBB?
Hey, we're doing good. I popped in yesterday and dropped a few player props, so did pretty good on those yesterday. But like you said, we got a 5-game slate for today, and then we got like a little bit of a break, so we gotta rail these plays today.
Yeah, man. Last NBA scheduled slate today before the NBA takes a little week off. The next slated games after the All-Star break will be a week from today, next Thursday. Like the guys said, we got 5 games today to go through, and we got to make them all winners, guys, because there ain't no tomorrow. Before we move on, let's have a very short, and I promise you, very short recap of yesterday's play. I'm just going to get right into it. The Knicks are an embarrassment to everybody who owns the rights to watch them on cable. I personally would like to call my own cable company and get the MSG channel taken off, so I don't even have the option to watch the Knicks because they don't deserve my time, energy, and definitely not my money. They've blown 3 20-plus point leads in the last 7 games. They've blown 3 double-digit leads in the last 3 games. They are a poverty franchise, and I'm not even going to get worked up. Alpha, any words?
Nothing really to say. I mean, 28-point lead. You're going against a Brooklyn Nets team in New York, Battle of New York, who doesn't have any of their star players. No Ben Simmons, no Kevin Durant, no Kyrie Irving, and they wax the Knicks, come all the way back, down 28, and get the dub. It just shows what this Knicks team is all about. They were getting out-hustled, out-rebounded. They did nothing right in the second half. Typical Knicks fashion, and it all falls on Tom Thibodeau. Loved him last year. Not sure I like what's going on in New York this year. Definitely a huge regression, but I digress. Enough about that. Hefe, let's get into the action for the people.
All right, man. First game we got on the slate, in my opinion, is probably the best game. Hornets and Heat. We got the Heat visiting Charlotte today. Charlotte is the home dog at +5. Alpha, start with you. What are we thinking?
All right, guys, in this matchup, I think we're going to see a ton of scoring. Miami's one of the best teams in the league at the over. So is the Charlotte Hornets. Both offenses should get this one done. I see this one flying over the 226.5. BBB, what do you like in this matchup?
Yeah, like you said, I see a lot of points here. This is a spot that I normally would, probably back the Hornets, but they've just been pretty shaky as of late, so I'm not going to do that. I saw Hefe get excited there for a second. Don't worry.
Because I forgot what I said on the show yesterday, and I'm actually a genius. Do you guys remember what I told everybody to take on the Knicks game? Knicks first half.
Yes, you did. Very good job.
And ES1J Money, I got to give you props because you just reminded me in the chat that I literally said take first half, and it's insane because what were they up at halftime?
373. 323.
Yeah. Wow. ES1J, you just made me feel very good because I did call that.
Stop
and where's my cup?
Don't gas them up.
And where's my cup saying we got to start fading the Knicks every time they roll double digits? I think that the Nets money line was something like +700 at that point. We actually have a buddy of ours who took it, put like $600 on it, and cashed out 4K plus. Sorry, BBB, continue.
No problem. I'm going to stay away from the Hornets on this one, though. I'm going to go a little alternate route. I'm going to take Montrezl Harrell over 13.5 points. Ever since he's moved over on this trade deadline,
holy shit! I just had a moment where I was like, Montrezl Harrell, what? I forgot he's on the Hornets.
He's on the Hornets. And he's been a big energy guy for them. He's been playing big minutes.
Yeah.
And, he played this Heat team earlier, and he had like 13 points. That was with the Wizards. He was getting way less minutes. Now he's seeing his minutes literally doubled. So I think, he should be able to get the production in there. He's not going to be going up against Bam. So that's like not the scarier part either. We should see like Plumlee or some other bum that's going to take that matchup away. So he should get a better matchup too as well.
Yeah.
So that's my play for this game. Hefe, you got anything on this one?
Yeah. I'm going to roll with the Hornets +5 here, actually. I think they're pretty due. I think the line kind of indicates a lot of people probably on the Heat, better team, number 2 team in the East, I believe now. Chicago probably overtook them at number 1 spot. Hornets need a win here going into the All-Star break. +5, I think, is a good spot for them. Even though they've lost their last 2, they've actually kept it fairly close and pushed and covered in those games, most recently against Minnesota. So I'm going to roll with the Hornets +5 here. All right, guys.
Quickly.
Yes.
Why does it feel like every time we talk about the Hornets on this show, the narrative is they must get a win tonight? And it seems like that doesn't bother them because they tend to still not get the win. That's why we keep saying it, because they keep falling a little bit. So that this team, it's just they don't seem to be, this second half at least into the new year.
I promise I'm not gonna bring up the Knicks anymore, but some would say that the Hornets are in a worse spot than the Knicks because the Hornets are what you call on the treadmill of mediocrity. They are going to get that 9th, 10th playoff spot. They're going to either lose that first round or not even win the play-in game, and they're going to get like a late pick, like a 14, 15, 16, not really a lot of room to progress. You got to get lucky. Knicks should lose every single game, and I want the first pick in the draft. Just somebody tell me when the NBA draft is on.
Okay, first of all, I can't let that comment go by. The Hornets are in such a better spot for the future than the New York Knicks. They actually have pieces to build around and legitimate players. The Knicks have absolutely no one, but this is not a Knicks show, even though we kind of said it would be. Let's move on to the next game we have on the slate. The team that just embarrassed the Knicks, the Brooklyn Nets, are hosting the Washington Wizards tonight. What do you think is going to happen in this one? Hefe, Brooklyn is hosting, so that means no Kyrie yet again.
He doesn't play. He's not even a player. I don't even think about him. Yeah, this is a revenge spot. Everybody remembers Wizards and Nets just played over in Washington a week or so ago, and Wizards actually ended up getting the W here. I'm going to take the Nets -5. Weird stat. They're 2-0 ever since Seth Curry has stepped on the court. Some would say coincidence. Some would say he's actually making an impact. I like them here against the Wizards. I really do. I'll take the -5. I think they win this game and honestly head into the All-Star break on a little 3-game winning streak, which is something they really, really need. BBB, how about you?
Yeah, I agree with you. This, a lean for me. It's not an official play, but I do think this is just a good spot for the Nets, honestly, because both teams are pretty depleted. They don't have a lot of stars. The Wizards shipped all their stars off. The Nets just don't have any right now that are playing. But I mean, like you said, Curry's been playing phenomenal. He's, kind of seamlessly came in. So I definitely see him continuing to make an impact. I think that they can pull this one out. And they showed a lot of grit in that Knicks game. I don't know if you guys saw that one or not, but
yeah, we saw the grit. Yeah, we saw all the grit.
Yeah, a lot of grit.
No grit.
I think it's a tough spot for the Nets. I don't really love this matchup. They had to play a tough, tight game for the entire game last night, and they're shorthanded. But they're shorthanded. They had to use a lot of energy in this spot. If I had to lean on this game, I would lean the Wizards plus the 4.5. The Nets have not gotten it done at home all season. One of the worst home covering teams in the league, and they're coming off a back-to-back missing their main 3 pieces. I'm not going to take too much stock in beating a terrible Knicks team. They were wide open the entire second half. That was more indicative on the Knicks defense than I think on the Nets offense yesterday. So I'm laying off this one, but if I were to have anything, it would be a play on the Wizards in this matchup.
Shout out Cam Thomas. 24th overall pick out of LSU. Dude deserves to be in the rookie sophomore game. I don't know how he isn't in there. He's balling, and he's an absolute great pick. And you knew it. You knew he could shoot. He was a hooper at LSU. A great pick by the Nets. Will forever not understand how the Knicks traded back 2 times and still didn't take him. Whatever. I promise I won't bring up the Knicks.
We all wanted him. We all want him. I mean, he plays 0 defense. We have Tom Thibodeau. That's why. He plays 0 defense. He needs to get that improved. He's a very talented offensive weapon, but on defense, he is a huge liability. So we'll see if he can get that corrected because he has potential to be a real scoring threat in this league. Hefe, next game on the slate for tonight, we have the Mavs traveling to the New Orleans Pelicans. Line is a little odd. Do you think this is right? It's 2.5 in favor of the Mavs who travel to New Orleans. What does that line tell you? What do you like in this matchup?
Line tells me that it's a Pelicans play, but I don't got the balls to take the Pelicans in this exact setting. Last game before All-Star break, everybody, this is such. All these games are toss-ups because you have to think in like the players whose mind is really on the game versus whose mind's in Aruba. You know what I mean? Because half these players, the second these games are over, you're either one or two players. You either get on a plane and go on a cold-ass Cleveland. Congratulations. Or B, you're getting with your family and you're going on vacation for a week. So these are tough. I'm not taking a side here. This line is sketchy, but I got a totals. This is an underplay, guys. I'm taking the under 216.5, and it's real simple. The Mavericks are the number one under team in the league. They hit the under at a 66% rate. The Pelicans are the fourth best under team in the league. They hit it at a 58% rate. 216.5. Still plenty of points for both these teams to get done what they got to get done. Slow pace of play by both teams, and Pelicans getting CJ McCollum only slows them down even more. Under 216.5 is my play here. Alpha,
I have good news for you.
What
you. FanDuel right now has under 217 minus 110. I'm on the same exact play you are. You know I love my Dallas unders. This is a prime spot for it again tonight. I think the look ahead is a big factor in tonight's matchups. Who's really mentally all the way there tonight? Who's committed to getting the W? And we're just not sure on both these teams how much they're looking at it, especially with New Orleans kind of in a lost season as it is. Give me the under sitting at 217 minus 110 on FanDuel. Big brain bets. What we got going on?
Yeah, first, I just kind of want to build off what Hefe said there. I think one of the reasons people struggle on these games so much is they kind of contribute it a little too much to the whole like All-Star break. Everyone's thinking about, going on vacation. I do think maybe that plays a little factor, but I don't think, these players are necessarily like, well, no one's going to try tonight. And I think people get that, that in their head of like, well, like Pelicans, they're not going to try tonight. So like, yeah. I just don't think that's how it works. I think, honestly, the reason people struggle on these games more is because of the trade deadline is right before this. And so many teams switch up stuff that changes their style of play, and they rely on trends throughout the entire year that don't really apply anymore. So, honestly, I'm going to be rocking with the Mavs here. They've had a couple solid pickups that they got that, to help Luka out. Absolutely. I think they'll be able to, continue to roll now. And I think not having to solely rely on Luka is huge for the Mavs. Getting some anytime you don't have to just rely on only Luka, that's huge because he can do it, but he can't do it every night. So I'm rocking with the Mavs. Minus 2.5 is what I have it at. I think that they come out and slap around New Orleans right before the All-Star break, go in hot.
Respect. Love it. Respect. Let's get Mavs and under in that one. Let's get that.
All right. Moving on.
This match. Get us into this next one.
If everybody was playing in this game, this would be the best game of the night, no doubt about it. But James Harden is injured. We have the 76ers and the Bucks. And the Bucks are minus 6.5, and rightfully so. The Sixers literally lost by 48 points to the Celtics the other night, who then went ahead and lost outright to the Pistons. So what is the NBA, right? There is absolutely no way I can back a team that looked how the Sixers looked 2 nights ago. I know Joel Embiid is an MVP candidate, but like I said when I was making the pick on the Celtics, you give up a really important player in Seth Curry who was really important to spacing. You also give up your backup center who was kind of one of the best rebounders in the league.
Absolutely.
And you get back a player who's a star, but he's not playing for you right now in James Harden. Tonight they're going against Milwaukee. Giannis is Giannis. I don't have to give you guys any analytics on that. Minus 6.5. I see a lot of people on Sixers because of the value in the points. Nah. Bucks minus 6.5 here for me, folks. How about you, Alpha?
Agree 100%. It's my favorite pick of the night. It's going to be my POD, my fucking play. I am all over the Bucks tonight. Without the shooters on Philadelphia, it's going to take time getting used to not having Curry there and Harden right now. They have no one to really produce max points besides Embiid. Maxi's a nice option. Tobias Harris is a decent option, but they're not going to be able to score with the Bucks tonight. I think the Bucks offense is going to completely overpower this team, and there's no second unit center for Philly right now. They're getting destroyed on the inside, and the guards of Milwaukee are great at getting into the paint and finishing inside the paint. And with no second unit center, the interior has been all open. We saw that last game with Philly. They could not defend at all. I see a similar game here. Give me the Bucks. Favorite play tonight. BBB, what are you looking at?
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I like the Bucks here. I might make a play on them. It's just that The Bucks have burned me so many times in the second half. I might look at like a first half angle, but my favorite play in this game is honestly going to be a player prop. It's Bobby Portis over 2.5 threes, and it's sitting at plus 150. The last 2 times he's played the Sixers, he's had at least 4 or 5 threes. So I think that this is just great value in my opinion. And I expect cross-eyed Bobby to come out and smack some threes from the corner and bring us a nice little plus money winner. So that's my angle here. I agree with you guys though on the Bucks.
Do you think they'll try and keep Bobby on the perimeter to keep Joel outside the paint? I think that's why he hit so many threes last time. It's a great strategy you're going with. Is that something you took into that play?
Oh yeah, I definitely think. I think even if he has a different matchup, I think Bobby Portis has just been. He's been a whole nother player ever since that championship run. He's been so big for this team. I mean, he went from being like a nobody in this league to like a key player on a championship level team. So
Yeah, he could thank the Knicks for that.
Yeah, we had it right before he went over there. I also like here that Serge Ibaka is back with the Bucks. I like it for this matchup as well because he also stretches Embiid outside the paint because he can knock down some deep shots. So I definitely like the matchup tonight. I like the angle you're taking on that player prop.
My opinion that Ibaka trade deadline pickup was one of the best underrated pickups of the deadline. He fills a direct need in every shape and form for the Bucks, including veteran championship presence. Amazing fit. All right, guys, last game of the night. I mean, we got to go through it. It's the Rockets. It's the Clippers. It's a double-digit spread. What is it at? Clippers are favored at home by 10.5. This is a tough one. Houston has lost 5 games on the road straight up. They're one of the worst teams in the league. Clippers are up and down. I really loved when they had Norm Powell. Now that Norm Powell's injured, I'm kind of like, But guys, can I tell you what the Clippers have the most of in the NBA, which is one of the hardest things in the NBA to get? Wing 3 and D defenders. Absolutely. They have literally 7 of them. Everywhere. All they have is wing 3 and D defenders. Their ability to play small ball is unmatched because they can play 1 through 5, all 3 and D defenders. Rocco, Morris, people like Boston, Coffee, Norm Powell when he wasn't injured, Luke Kennard. I mean, come on. They have so many of these guys, and because of that, I think they're going to be able to beat the Rockets tonight, and I think they'll cover. It's not one of my favorite plays, guys, but my lean for tonight is the Clippers minus 10.5.
Boys, if you're betting this game, get some help. I mean, come on. There's no edge in this game, guys. It's an 11-point swing. You're versing 2 teams that you're just not going to be able to get a good read on. I lean with the Clippers as well because they think the Rockets, after playing yesterday, they played a decent game, that they don't play that again today. But with all the other options on today's board, there's 4 other better games and a full college basketball slate. I'm not betting this game, and I don't recommend betting this game at all. BBB, any action before we get into best bets?
No, I agree with you. I'm glad someone said it. I didn't want to have to be the guy that said this is just a total degen play here.
This is such this is the Hawaii 11:59 Eastern tip against some school you've never heard of. Right, you're up late night chase. You're like, you know what? I'm taking the dog. That's what this is if you're betting this game.
For everybody that bet Buffalo, Eastern Michigan today at noon, this game's like for you. Clippers minus 10.5.
Yeah, see, there's going to be college basketball on that I would much rather bet on than this trash game here. And
so let's get on, guys.
Round it up, Alpha. You know what time it is, baby.
You know what we're doing, baby. It is best bets. Wade to LeBron. Boys, my best bet, number 1 play, is going to be the Bucks minus 6.5. Favorite play tonight by far. Second best bet is the Heat Hornets over 226.5. Think that flies over the total. And my third is going to be the under 217 in the Mavericks game. BBB, what are you looking at tonight?
Yeah, I'm rocking with Montrezl Harrell over 13.5 points, sitting at plus 100. And then I'm also going to have Bobby Portis over 2.5 threes at plus 150. 2 little plus money plays. And then we're going to round it out with the Mavs minus 2.5 and then minus 110. Hefe, what are you rocking with?
Hornets plus 5, Nets minus 5, Mavs Pelicans under 217.
Bang, bang.
Folks, baby. All right, everybody. That wraps up today's 5-game slate show.
Ho. Chat wants to see you play. We have one of our boys, Jagan. I hope I pronounced that right. He's always here asking for his TBE play. What do we got for him? Anyone have a play?
BB, you got one. Go.
I'll tell you what, I like Michigan plus the 5
That's
tonight.
mine. That's mine.
A little
as
bit
well.
scary, but I like it. Michigan's been playing some good basketball lately.
Yep. That's why
Michigan
I let
has
BBB take
stepped
the
it up.
mic because we are aligned on that one. Michigan plus 5. Everybody, enjoy NBA All-Star. We got dunk contest. We got 3-point shootout, rookie sophomore game, All-Star game. Who knows? You might have an OTB surprise. Just gotta stay tuned.
Woo!
Find out.
We
Have
will
a
be
great day,
back.
everybody.
Appreciate y'all. Have a good night. Good luck tonight.
Julius.